Yes, we do. That is our cue. Coming to you from the Sportsbook at LaBerge. Welcome in.
Yes.
We're continuing our 30th anniversary celebration, week number 2, longest running television sports show.
And I have
in
to
the
agree
entire
with
state
you
of
on that.
Louisiana.
I do. I have to agree with you on that. I have to agree with you on that, Rick.
Well,
Thank you.
nobody's called your hand on it
That's
yet.
okay.
I'm
I have to agree
staking
with
that
you.
claim, baby.
It's 29 years.
I'll take
for
it.
He's
Kevin.
going to
29.
continue to
I'll
remind
take
you of
29,
that.
Scooter.
You know,
I'll take it.
Our celebration involves us, our crack production crew, right?
Yes.
The thousands of sound offers out there, but not any celebrities like a Snoop Dogg or
Let me tell
Dr.
you something.
Dre. No,
Wait a
let
minute,
me tell
wait a
you
minute.
something. Let me tell you
No,
something.
I'm with you.
I am
Stop.
Don't
just,
you be messing on Snoop.
I am
Stop
over Snoop
Hey.
Dogg. I've OD'd on Snoop
Hey.
Dogg. I don't want to
Not
see
me. I
Snoop
can't
Dogg
get
for another
enough.
damn decade.
Look. I
mean, that
hate.
was
I
ridiculous.
can't stand rap music, but I love me some
Oh,
Snoop.
Let me tell you something. Would you would have not have enjoyed the Olympics as much
gonna
as you
talk
have
Olympics this
with Snoop
segment.
not being there. Come on now, Rick. It's just what he adds to the game. You know he's going to come.
It's all marketing. I
Snoop
get
ran to
it.
200 in a minute and 35 seconds.
And I will. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people.
Oh,
that
my God.
I would agree with you. Would get annoying and everything. I'm telling you,
I love
Snoop
Snoop,
is
man.
a unique guy.
He is.
He can pull it off. He's
Look,
just. He's,
I've had
you
enough.
know, he can still be
Let me-
edgy enough. You be quiet. Edgy enough. But he's such a likable guy.
He is, and Scooter's
he can
right.
pull it off.
Rick, you just been a curmudgeon. Scooter's right.
Old
Look,
man on the
let
lawn.
me just add
Get off
this
my
also.
lawn.
Oh,
Snoop
I'm-
Dogg, get off my lawn.
When
I'm
he
usually running people off my lawn.
We're wasting
But
time.
I
don't
know we
mess
are both,
with
but we
Snoop.
gotta get,
No,
we gotta
we
get this in,
don't.
Rick. Look,
You
when
have besmirched Snoop.
Yeah,
and
when
I
they
will
interviewed-
not stand for
Thank you,
that.
Scooter. When they interviewed Snoop after he ran the 200, this is the reason why you put him on television, Rick. He said, well, dog, you know I be smoking.
That's our cue.
That's just being real.
That's our cue. Okay, on top to that, if we can get to it, the McNeese Cowboys wrapped up the second scrimmage,
They did.
second and final
They did.
scrimmage.
Kinda
They're-
impressive, kinda
They're starting to
impressive.
work on the Tarleton game plan. All right, we're going to try to figure out, you are at least, the LSU Tigers secondary. What do they have and what do they not
Let's
have? and What do
not.
they need?
They don't have
All right.
Kevin Gidry.
No,
They do
Thank
not.
you,
Our
Scooter.
thoughts on the Saints preseason win. What did we see? What did
Don't-
we learn?
don't you get too excited
The
now.
McNeese basketball team goes to El Salvador.
El Salvador.
They 3 blowouts. We'll talk about how good this team can be. And,
Are you surprised?
we're gonna weigh in on a fun list. And this one is the best receivers over the last decade in the SEC, according to the SEC
wow.
Network. We're gonna have a little fun with that for the decade.
Really, we got to go through that? They're all LSU players. What are you
Not
talking
all
about?
of them. Not all of them.
LSU and Bama, you
We're
might
gonna
have
get
it.
we're gonna get on the Olympics without Snoop Dogg. No. All right, let's get going.
Snoop
All right.
is the Olympics.
Snoop is the
16-14,
Olympics, dude.
16-14 Saints over the Cardinals. Arizona doesn't play Kyler Murray.
No, they
Everything
don't.
was vanilla. Everything was, it was preseason. Dennis Allen, what was his post game again? I like some things, but we got a lot to clean up. It's every week we got a lot to clean up. I get it, but
I
I'm
don't
just
know
getting
why
tired.
you still on this guy, Rick. I
I'm
don't know
not
why.
on the
you
guy.
still paying attention to
I don't know why.
Ben
an
Johnson.
exhibition game.
Offensive coordinator,
Why
Detroit
you-
Lions. Come on down, baby. Are you kidding me? All right. Slow start for Derek Carr. 3 or 4 series, guys. This is vanilla. This is what we kind of expect from preseason.
I'm surprised he even played, honestly.
Well, Allen
surprised. I was
says Andy
expecting
Reid
one
played
series.
Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going to play Derek Carr. That's a quote. That's a quote.
But they go to the Super Bowl every
Cardinals
year, Rick.
didn't play Kyler Murray.
Touche.
They go to the Super Bowl every
All
year.
right.
Wow.
Look, the Saints defense held Arizona without a first down for like a quarter
And
and
without
a
a
third.
quarterback.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm
but
with
it's still
Scooter.
an NFL
Let's not-
game. So
let's
that
not-
was okay. Hey,
It was watchable, I'll say that.
linebacker Willie Gay, I don't care. He's got 2 rings from the Chiefs.
He
He's
do.
a player.
He do.
That man can cover from
He
one
can.
sideline
He can.
to the next.
You
Okay.
can. I agree with you on that, Rick.
Very
There's
impressive.
no doubt
Number
about that, no.
6, watch out
It's-
for Willie
It's
Gay.
just that, when do you expect the Saints, when you expect them to say, oh, that's the Saints of old? When is that going to come? When is
Well,
that going to
I
come?
got to
the
see it
Saints
in
of
the
old no
regular
longer here.
season. I've got to see it in the regular season.
right.
That's my question.
I didn't,
with the
and
Saints.
I'm with you. I'm not real optimistic. I'm
not
still
either.
not. Maybe
That
I'll
was
change
me
my
last week.
mind.
And
Yeah.
him. He's
It
never.
is- No, I'm not. I'm not
Well,
until I
look,
get convinced of it.
My pessimism is because of the offensive line. And what did we see? I'm going to get the guy's name right one of these days. Faoga
Faoga,
on the left side.
yeah.
Look, he's big.
He's a big guy.
And he looked pretty solid. Trevor Penning, on the other hand, up and down.
That's what bothers me.
He looked lost at
That's
times.
what bothers. Yeah.
I
And they're
mean,
going to
it
keep
was like,
confusing
who
him too.
am I blocking? Where am I going?
They're going to keep confusing him too, Rick. But it's just that when you look at the Saints, and I mean, I watched a little bit of it, but it's the same old Saints. We wasn't going to see much of it and everything, but
you bring up. Go ahead.
you
It's
just
one
expect the Saints.
preseason
I know
game.
it, but you just expect to see more out of the Saints because people have been watching the Saints
It's
for
an
years.
exhibition game.
It's one.
I know that.
What's your point?
You tell me. And I know, rookie Penny or second year. No, he's
Third.
why is it, he looks lost. Is the NFL that much different than college?
He's changing positions. He's changing positions.
Well, but the thing is,
He's a guard,
but Rick,
a
but
left
Rick,
guard. Now they're moving
but
him to
Rick,
right tackle.
The thing is,
Blocking's blocking,
tackle.
isn't it?
No, tackle. You're the quarterback's lifeline.
I get that. I get
Okay,
that.
you're the
Movements in
quarterback's.
feet,
You're the quarterback's
hands,
lifeline, Rick.
Leverage.
If anybody get around you, Rick, game over.
All right.
Game over.
All right. There is a little bit of a race going on for backup quarterback. I know it's like, but hey, in the NFL, you better make sure you got somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Jake Hayner, Spencer Rattler. Both of them look pretty good. Now, Rattler, with the long drive that set up the game-winning field goal, the kid from South Carolina. Hayner with a long pass.
I was not a big fan of his.
I wasn't
South
either.
Carolina.
I
I
wasn't
don't
either.
know why.
I don't
Because I
either.
didn't follow them
Rattler-
that close.
One time he was a Heisman candidate at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I just think.
He got beat out by the Heisman winner.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I just think Rattler brings a little bit more of a different game to it because you have more movement with him than the other quarterbacks.
We'll
I
see.
think.
Right now, I think it's a dead
And
heat.
you might need that.
We'll
you
see
may
about
need that
All
on
right,
offense.
So preseason game number 2 at
Yeah.
San Francisco. More on that in the Thursday night edition of Sound Off. The National Golf Club in Westlake, by the way, is home to great golf and great lunch and dinners as well at the Max Bar and Grill. Huge lineup on the menu, all your favorites, plus some unique sandwiches and entrees. The big bar is great to wind down and meet up with friends. Open 7 days a week, plus weekend brunches. It's all at the Max.
Where'd you come from?
France. I'm France.
Great taste, less filling. Miller Lite.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a roto-rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Welcome back. Glad to have you spending some of your summer evening time with us.
Good time.
Here on CBS Lake Charles. That would be Sound Off. The show presented by locally owned and operated Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana. Therese and John Barker, Roto-Rooter. Legendary name. They got a crew of expert plumbers and drain
Good
guys.
people.
And they do water cleanup as well. Give them a call, Roto-Rooter. And also the show brought to you by J&J Exterminating. Our man, Tim Broussard, Brian Gaspard, and that crew. These guys know how to protect your home and businesses from termites and full pesticide control. Call J&J. I got to come up with a slogan that rhymes with that.
There's one out there. We can get one for
J&J.
Tim. Yeah, we can get one for Tim.
Last week we told you that McNeese head football coach Gary Goff would be in the fourth chair to
We
talk
did.
about the
We
season.
lied.
And come on, man.
Things
I
happen.
keep wanting to throw this Dallas Cowboy
His
helmet.
schedule changed.
No, he moved the dead gum practice schedule to the afternoon.
Well,
It's
yeah.
usually been in the morning, but he moved it,
We'll
which
get
knocked him off of our production schedule. Now,
We will get
we're
him.
hoping to get Gary Goff possibly next week. We have McNeese athletic director Steve Schroyer coming in next
Yes.
week because I've got like 20 topics I need to cover.
I do
with
too,
him.
from what
So
I've
you
seen.
guys are
I
just
do
going to
too.
sit back and
No,
listen to
no,
me.
I won't. I promise you I won't.
So we're working on
I promise you I
Don't
won't.
give me an
We're-
excuse.
I
promise
know,
you I
you'll
won't.
get up and
I
leave. That's for
promise you I
dead
won't.
gum, sure. So anyway, we apologize for that anyway. We didn't lie, Hobbs. A little out of our control.
Yeah.
A little out of our control. All right. So do not miss next week. All right, let's get on McNeese and LSU fall camp. The Cowboys completed a second and final scrimmage. They're now, as of this week, 2 more weeks, they're really getting into Tarleton. Season opener up there in Stevensville, Texas on that week 0. All right, let's talk Clifton McDowell.
Yeah.
Look, one thing that sticks out, okay, you know me and quarterbacks. I try
Yeah.
to look at this, and I'm not the technician in regards to the footwork and this. He's calm. He's cool. He's confident.
His present.
Yes. He just moves different. Why? Because he's like a 43-year-old senior. I'm being facetious. But no, he's like 23.
No.
Experience
You know,
does that.
It's expected, Rick, yeah.
Senior
One
leadership
thing
does that.
I was a little surprised when looked into it that his numbers in Montana weren't off the charts.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, weren't off the. Because I remember I watched that championship game last year, the FCS championship game.
He didn't throw for a lot of yards.
But he plays better than his numbers.
I know.
think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He
Dual
makes,
threat.
And Rick,
Dual threat.
when you look at it, and I'm hoping that Coach
You're right.
Goff and
Good
his
point.
administration, his coaching staff, and everybody can understand we've got to focus this game plan around what he does best. Let's not stick to what we've said. We're going to do it until it works. Sometimes that's not the answer.
All right, look.
Now, having said
Sometimes that's not the answer.
Having said that, if he's going to turn this McNeese team around, he's got to put up some numbers.
All right, that's my point. All right.
Oh, no,
So last year at
that's
Montana,
no doubt.
a more run-oriented Montana team, he averaged 185 yards passing. He threw for only a little over 2,000 for the year. So he averaged about 185. In the SCS championship game, I think he only threw for like 165. I'm thinking Gary Goff, and I haven't pinned him down on this, and I don't think he can be pinned down, but I'm thinking Goff would like to see McDowell get to about 220, 230 on average.
And that's an average. That's a good average, Rick. But you know what, Rick? The threat of that, and that's going to come.
In today's college game.
The threat of that for the defense, it's knowing that he's got the option to run. How many quarterbacks in McNeese history? I can name 2. Stephen Storm. Help me out, Scooter.
What, they can run?
Kerry
Jones?
Kerry Jones. That's what I want to say.
Kerry
That's-
Jones and Derek
that was the threat. That was the threat. And I think he brings that to the table.
no doubt.
To know that,
No
if I
doubt.
don't throw it, I'm going to run it.
No doubt. No, and we'll have more on his abilities as the weeks go on. All right. Speaking of running, Joshawn Barbie, he can gobble up yards from the running back position. Travantay Sidis.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see.
He's going to get his.
I'm
yards.
just waiting to see, man.
Angelo
I'm serious.
Durham.
I'm just
senior,
waiting to see.
Running strong. And then this little speedster from JUCO,
I'm just waiting to see.
Bryce Strong.
Yeah.
They've got guys
They do.
that can run the football, but McDowell and even Cam Sixkiller like to run the football.
But that's okay. When they see what these guys can do, that's going to take the pressure off of them.
Off who?
The quarterback.
Off the quarterback.
I don't have to run every down.
No.
If I got a back that I can throw to on a little pass out the back field and he get 10 yards, we're going to keep doing it until they stop it, Rick.
All right, let's shift to the
make
LSU
it easy,
Tigers.
man.
Week 2 of fall camp. The secondary. Front and center.
What secondary?
Here we go. You're our secondary expert.
What secondary?
You're in the meeting room.
What
in
secondary?
the meeting room.
I talked to Corey Raymond.
Calls you up. What do you tell him?
Corey
Kevin
Raymond.
Geary, what do you tell him?
I'm saying, Corey, did we not see this coming? Did we not see this coming?
He was in Florida.
To understand.
He said, Kevin,
He wasn't there last
I know,
year.
you know what I'm saying. But, Rick, how many years have you covered LSU, Scooter, and you always wrote in the paper, first round pick coming out of LSU next year? There is none.
Has this been the
There
worst
is none.
3 to 4 year stretch for this
There is
secondary?
none, Rick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I
ever.
Can't think.
Yeah.
But here's my theory, though, Kevin.
There is none. Dude, we normally have first rounders
I don't know
every year.
how much more talented the secondary will be from the awful. And it wasn't just secondary; they were bad all
Oh, no, they were bad.
front to back.
Yeah,
on
that
defense.
caused that problem for them.
But your guy Corey Raymond to me is the key. I mean, maybe it was talent last year, but to me, their biggest problem was it seemed like 4, 5, 6 times a game, somebody wide ass open.
Yeah.
And a DB running around there with no clue.
Yeah, no clue.
I
Position-wise,
think
that was a
that's where
problem.
coaching can make a difference.
But you got
I
to
mean,
know.
these guys were signed and recruited by LSU. they should be able to play in the
I'm with
SEC
you.
secondary.
And you know, Scooter, the problem I go back to is that playing with guys you've never played with before, that can be a huge problem too.
All right,
Rick.
well-
I mean, you get guys, but you know what? When you get guys that come into
talking
a new
about last
system
year?
last year, yeah.
Okay, this year's different.
When you get yes, that's
I mean-
what I'm saying. But when you look at it, everybody's back there is new, Rick.
Well, Jordan Gilbert at safety, I got
Yeah.
it. Who's this kid?
Everybody's new.
Javian Trovano, who's got
Yeah.
a little bit of a suspension problem.
Yeah.
He'll be somewhat new.
And you got Burns.
But he's not new.
Yeah, but
He's not new to the
Burns,
secondary.
he's probably the most talented guy.
Yeah, maybe
he's
the
going to
most.
play.
Yeah.
He's going to play this new star position.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Everybody had something like a star.
No.
Well, a star is more or less considered a rover. It's another term
Yeah,
for
they're
rover.
rover, you're
Okay,
right.
let's just break it down. That's what it is.
Face it,
But-
very few alignments these days end up just 4 in the secondary.
That's right.
You got to
I
have.
got
But let me tell you, let me hit on a little bit more.
You go.
Okay.
In the next segment,
Yes.
they're yelling to go to break. We're
got
up against
so
the
much.
clock. We'll see you in about a minute.
Hey, mister, are you a Roto-Rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
Introducing Simply Spiked Lemonade. Real fruit that left the farm and has seen too much to ever go back. Simply Spiked Lemonade. Tastes like your favorite lemonade. Now spiked. It's getting juicy.
What's bugging you? Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
Where'd you come from?
France. I'm in France.
Great taste, less filling. Miller Lite.
All right, welcome back to the Roundtable of Sports Hour.
Yes.
Sound Off here on CBS Lake Charles. All right, think about this as we're continuing this brief conversation on LSU, because I know how you like to stretch it. All right, this LSU passing defense, I want to get the numbers right.
Yes.
They were 115th out of 130 FBS.
How does that happen?
115th passing defense. All right, total defense, yards allowed per game, 105th.
We've never had numbers like
Points
that ever,
allowed,
Rick.
28 points allowed on average.
20.
Last year,
Rick, that's
that
30
was
points.
78
That's 30 points.
in the nation.
That's 30 points a
All
game.
they did was squander one of the best offenses you're ever
Squander,
going to see.
Yeah.
squander, squander.
That's 30
All right, you made
that's
a
30
point off
points a
camera.
game.
I think
Look.
it was a salient point.
Look,
Make it again.
I was down at LSU, and there
Quickly.
was a former
You
coach
got
that came
8.5
to me and
seconds.
said, he said, Kevin, I'm just baffled, man, not to understand why LSU secondary is not good. When you look at the guys that they practice against every day, how can they not be good? These guys are all in the NFL, they're stars. And I thought about it, I'm saying, this guy said it makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't
How
they
can you not-
actually practice against scout teams?
No. I went up against Wendell Davis every day.
I bet he
I
beat
would
your
not have.
butt.
And we split that 50-50.
You know,
Wendell Davis every day. Dude, I have no choice but to be good.
LSU and everybody else says, okay, media, shut it down, get the hell out of here when they start that kind of work.
Yeah.
I would think that they are working one
Rick, you
against
have
one.
to. Rick, you have to.
Better
Ones
be.
against ones. You have to.
smokes.
Especially in the red zone. You
All
want
right.
your best against best, man.
Let's shift. I need a basketball. I need a
Wow.
basketball. All right, let's shift to basketball. McNeese. A couple of weeks ago, I popped in on
Yeah.
the Legacy Center. I wanted to take a look at this new McNeese Cowboy
Everybody
basketball.
did, Rick. Everybody did. It's a different ball game.
Oh, my God.
It's a different ball game.
It's
man.
hard to believe or even imagine at this level. But Will Wade has a team that can be and will be better
Than what he had last year.
year's
I know.
30
You
and
said
40.
that.
I'm serious. Rick,
They are going to be better.
Rick.
I mean, now,
I know one
Shahada Wells is
Shahada Wells
a
is a
tough
good
one to
player, yeah.
replace, but they're going to replace Shahada.
They had a guy that was on the bench last year that was waiting.
I know.
That was
this
waiting.
Sincere Parker is the real deal. Alan Breed from Providence.
Look.
I don't think he missed a shot in a whole practice I said.
I
I'm
want to
telling
see
you guys.
more. I want to see more, but I know one thing. El
Telling
Salvador doesn't want any more of them.
Wow.
El Salvador, y'all go on back. Get on
3
back to the
games
bayou.
in El Salvador. I think the margin of
games.
victory was like 48.
Man, that was practice.
I
Call it
don't
what it
know.
was, Rick. That was practice. Look, guys,
I
what
don't
do y'all-
better
know.
than
Is
that.
El Salvador a basketball hotbed?
Obviously not, sir.
What are y'all thinking the Southland Conference coaches when they're in their meeting rooms saying about McNeese when they're watching
saying,
film?
let's go down and play some people in El
El
Salvador.
Salvador. All right.
What are they saying,
Look,
man?
Christian Shoemate
Wow.
hit 5 threes on this trip to El Salvador.
He don't
was
normally
working-
shoot threes. He don't
was
normally shoot
working on
threes.
his threes on the practice I went to.
He don't normally
went
shoot
to
threes.
Arizona to get schooled by a shooting specialist for a week. He's adding, and he needs to. If he wants to jump to the next level, he has to have an outside shot.
But you know what we
So
look for
think
him
about
for.
that.
We look for him to be on ESPN.
Oh, I know that.
How do you teach?
I don't know.
How do you teach outside shooting?
It's
I mean,
form,
you
it's-
do it.
it's-
I think you're born with that.
No, I think it.
No, you
It's
got
like
some guys
putting.
develop. You
Well,
got
it's
some
either
guys develop.
putt or you can't.
Ben Simmons,
No.
LSU.
Yeah.
How can you go through
Yeah.
all those years and you can't shoot a mid-range jumper?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? But anyway, Christian Shoemate is working on that.
Wow.
All right. For the record, I really
Unbelievable.
like the SEC network. You and I agree on that. Great content, great work. All right. I came across a best of Chris Doering, one of their analysts,
Yeah.
former Florida wide receiver, came up
know
with
it.
his top 10 receivers in the SEC for the last decade. Top 10.
I've got mine.
All right.
I forgot.
Wait,
no, let's just
wait.
discuss.
Top 10 in how long now? How
10
long?
years. 10 years.
Last
10 years.
All right. How many LSU guys you think was on that, on his SEC network? How many?
I would say 4.
All right, you're wrong. How many Alabama? You remember?
Probably 4.
4. 3 LSU, Alabama with 4, 2 Ole Miss,
3 LSU?
and 1 Georgia. Yeah.
Wait, we got 4 in the NFL right now. That's stars.
I don't want to run
Wait.
out of time. Let me.
You want,
are
you
you
want
talking
my
about?
list?
Give me your list for the last 10 years.
Number 1, Jamar Chase, LSU.
I'll go
Number
with that.
2, Devontae Smith, Alabama.
Louisiana guy.
Yeah.
Number 3, just the top 4 are Louisiana.
All
guys.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
born and
Number
bred.
3, Justin Jefferson. Number 4, Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Now, those top 4, you could 1, A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, you can.
5, Luther Burden, Missouri, who's there now.
Wait.
He's there now. 6, Jerry Judy, Alabama. 7, Jalen Hyatt, Tennessee.
Wait.
8, Calvin Ridley, Bama. 9,
Wait.
Amari Cooper, Bama. 10, Elijah Moore.
My
Ole
4th
Miss.
guy was Odell. How you leave Odell out?
Odell was 30 years ago.
10 years.
This is 10 years.
10 years.
Really?
The last
No.
decade.
Really?
The last decade.
Odell
All
was
right.
10. He passed
This
10
was
years.
the SEC network. I disagree with some of that. Devontae Smith, he won the Heisman. Forget about that. The kid from AB.
Whatever.
won the That's number 1. Jamar Chase, Amari Cooper. Okay.
Look.
Justin Jefferson, number 4, similar to you. A.J. Brown, Ole Miss.
Yeah, he was a good one.
A.J.
I
Brown.
will give
you that.
Elijah Moore, Ole Miss. Jerry Judy, Malik Neighbors, Calvin Ridley, and Ladd McConkey, Georgia.
No.
I got to look at his
No,
numbers again.
McConkey, no. That's definitely not on the list.
I mean,
no.
a couple
no.
of good years with
No.
Stetson
No,
Bennett.
he's
but
not on the list.
Number 10 all time?
we
Ladd
missing an-
McConkey?
Really, I mean, Brian,
What'd
We're
you
not
throw
missing
in
an LSU guy somewhere, guys. I'm missing an
Well,
LSU
it's
guy.
10
the
years
number
now.
2 guy last year,
Brian Thomas?
Thomas. I was trying to say
Thomas.
He had one good
Yeah,
year.
but
One
10
good
years,
year.
that's kind of hard to. 10 years.
Well, let me see him again. What was
10
the really
years,
tr-
that's kinda
Luther
hard.
Burden. That's throwing me. Has he
He was good.
last year? But has he strung together a couple of seasons?
Well, he's there this year. He'll be back this year.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh,
What
he
was-
I don't know.
Good, like.
What
Boy,
was,
that's a
what was the
curveball on me.
receiver a couple years, about 4 or 5 years ago from Ole Miss? The receiver that went high in the draft. What was his name?
I assume A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
I
A.J.
mean,
Brown.
A.J. Brown's very, very good. I like Doering in the SEC Network's list. When Devontae Smith popped up, Amite, Louisiana, I get it. He won the Heisman. He was very, very good.
He was very
He
good.
caught that pass
Still can't.
to win the
Still
Okay.
hadn't
championship
figured
game.
out how he
Break
got that
time.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Hey, mister, did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Bust the water heater?
Nailed it.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup. All right, we're back. Nothing against Snoop Dogg. Don't go there. We've done it enough. But I'm glad the Olympics are over because I don't have to deal with Snoop Dogg anymore.
Whatever.
I get
if
it,
Snoop
NBC,
walked through that door right now,
I did-
you would say, let's put him on the show, Kevin.
Of course.
If he walked through the door right now, okay?
I did not
That's
see
what
as
you would
much
say.
of it as
Yeah.
had
You were in
hoped
Boston
to.
for a week.
Yeah, I was in Boston one of the weeks. But I was very, very well done Olympics.
It was great
I really
Olympics.
did.
All right, biggest moment for me, the drama, because it took so damn long, was Mondo Duplantis and
Yeah.
the world record-breaking pole
Yeah.
vault, because it took so long between
It did,
each vault.
it did.
And
But-
I'm biased, men's basketball. That
No.
17-point
Men's?
comeback over Serbia.
Look,
and
They ought to be
Steph Cur-
ashamed of themselves.
Oh,
how
you're
does the United
nuts.
States get down by 17?
Well, this is
Come on.
Serbia.
They wanted to make it thrilling.
And they got a lot of
Stuart.
NBA guys.
Look,
Steph Curry
Might
with
be
those
right.
4 straight three-pointers to win
he
the
dropped
goal.
him. He dropped him.
Did you see the first one
Yeah.
and the last
He-
one in particular?
But that's what he does. He's the master of that,
I
man.
mean, come on.
That's what Steph
That
does.
is just unbelievable.
That's what he does, man.
Here's
That's
my
what Steph
take
does.
on the Olympics. And I mean, it's crazy.
Of course, it is coming
Two
from you.
things that'll never happen. The Super Bowl ought to be in New Orleans every year,
Yeah.
That'll never happen.
and the Olympics ought to be in Paris
Look.
Oh, I
every
got you
4
on that one.
years.
Well, it's going to be in
I
LA
mean, those,
next 4 years.
Those venues were just
They
incredible.
are. They were.
They really
I mean, just pleasing to the eye.
We-
the visit,
Well,
you know.
Paris is an unbelievable city.
I've been to Paris, so
It's
I
unbelievable.
recognize.
We didn't bring up some of the incidents that happened with one of the sprinters that would not be let into the gate, and Laos in the 200. Guys, that was a debacle.
Well,
Okay.
I've heard that about he shouldn't have been running
you're
because he had
gonna-
That was a
COVID.
debacle.
You're
What
gonna,
are you
you're gonna
doing?
have these. You're gonna have, you know, hiccups in any Olympics.
Yeah.
I just thought that the hot air balloon deal.
Yeah.
That's got to end up
Yeah.
being a permanent fixture in
Yeah.
Paris
Well,
somewhere.
the
doesn't it?
The French may have stepped over the line a little bit with that opening ceremony and some weird stuff they had going on. I don't really understand all that.
Yeah.
But it caught
Yeah.
a lot of grief.
Get
It
over
did.
it.
Men's basketball and your women.
Women.
Winning
That
the
was a
goal as
game.
well
That
with
was a
that
game.
shot that could have tied the game, but she was just over the line.
Yeah.
And who'd they beat? They beat the French again.
French.
They beat the French again.
All right. Always.
Great show.
Great
Thanks
job,
for
guys.
being with us. This is Sound Off on CBS Lake Charles.